Hey guys, so I think I have it working. Let me know if you can see me on Facebook Live. It currently says it's streaming, so I'm hoping that it's coming up. So if you can see the stream, go ahead and comment down below or like this. We are going to be doing Olaf today. Apparently Facebook Live is a little temperamental. So I'm trying to get it in focus here. So we are doing Olaf today. So when you're on, go ahead, give it a heart or a thumbs up. Hi, Patrice. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Tina. Can you hear me now? Facebook Live was being very odd today. As soon as I would go on, it would just kick me off automatically. So I don't know what was happening, but it seems like it's working now. So great. Perfect. All right, I'll wait for a few more people to hop on. Hi, Ella. Hi, Emma. Hi, Isabel. And we'll go ahead and start drawing our Olaf. So you will need a pencil, and if you happen to have a ruler or a straight edge, you will need that as well too. Hi, Jen. Hi, Richard. And is it KK? Hi, KK. Welcome. So we'll get started with Olaf in just a minute. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Joe. Welcome. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. We have quite a few people on here. So today we are going to be doing Olaf. We'll go ahead and turn our music down a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to draw that square rectangle in the back of the picture for his background. So like I said, you're going to need a straight edge. I'm just going to use a straight piece of paper as my straight edge. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of line it up in the middle of my picture here. And use that to draw one line. I'm going to go ahead and block off a little bit more. And draw another straight line. And then I'm going to go ahead and erase the top because I don't actually want to go all the way to the top. And go ahead and close that off to turn it into a rectangle. And then do the same thing from the bottom. Erase a little bit from the bottom. And go ahead and draw the bottom of my rectangle. So then we have his little background here. All right, next we're gonna go ahead and start drawing Olaf here. So Olaf is a little bit off-centered from that rectangle that we just drew. So we're gonna go ahead and do his bottom half first, and he is a snowman. So we're gonna go ahead, let me see if I have a sharper pencil here. That's okay, I'll just use what I got. All right, so the bottom half, we're gonna go ahead and draw a large circle. Again, kind of going off center of our rectangle. Like so, and it's also at a slant because remember he's kind of kicking that side leg out. And then I'm going to go ahead and erase the line of our rectangle real quick, just right where I'm drawing his bottom half. But then I'm going to go ahead and kind of make a little divot in him, like so, so I can stack the rest of Olaf on top. Like so. When you're ready for the next part, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or a heart so I know that you are ready to do the next part of Olaf. So thumbs up or heart if you're ready. All right, I have one heart. All right, two. And don't worry about making it perfect right now because we can always fix it up later. That's what pencil erasers are for. Okay, awesome. Let's go ahead and move on to the next part. So now we're going to do the middle of Olaf. And the middle has just a little bit of a smaller snowball. And we're going to go ahead and have his head tipping this way. So I'm going to make another little indent. Like so. If you want his head to tip this way, then you could make the indent that way. All right, now for his head. It's a very odd shaped head. It's not a normal snowman head. So and it's very tall. So we're gonna go ahead and draw his cheeks first. And that kind of are like candy canes. So we're gonna draw one candy cane coming down and meeting up with his head. Actually, I'm gonna make that candy cane just a smidge taller. And then he has another candy cane going this way. About right here. And coming down. And then the top of his head. Kind of looks like that. It's like an upside down U. It's a little bit more rounded. And as I'm looking at his head here, I'm noticing I do kind of want his cheeks even higher than I actually drew it. So I'm gonna go ahead and move his cheeks up a little bit. I want his head a little bit longer. If yours are longer, then go ahead and leave them be. But sometimes when you're drawing, you realize that you just need it change just a little bit. And I'm gonna come in a little bit on the edges as well, because his head kind of narrows down as it gets to his neck. So you kind of want those candy canes. There we go. That looks a little bit more Olaf-y. We're gonna go ahead and elongate his head a little bit. There we go. So that kind of, the candy canes kind of come as a angle down into that neck there. All right, so now that we have the shape of his head and we're happy with it, let's go ahead and add his other parts of his bodies. So let's go ahead and do his feet. So his feet are just little rounded kind of squares here. Then he has his one kicking up right here. All right, if you're ready to move on, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or heart again, or comment ready. All right, we have one ready. All right, ready. All right, KK's ready. How you doing, Ellen, Emma, Rebecca, Joe? All right, let's go ahead and do the mouth. So Olaf's mouth, I'm gonna kind of go down as a slant first. Then we're gonna go ahead and come down, around, and then it's a little bit shorter on this side. Like so. All right, next we're gonna go ahead and add his buttons. So he has one button here, or pieces of coal, I guess. Another one, and then another one down below. Hi, Patricia. You might have to wait till the video's over to start from the beginning, unless you guys want to play catch up. All right, next we're gonna go ahead and add his nose and eyes. So let's add his eyes first. He has very big, round eyes. They're kind of, actually, let me move them up a little bit higher. They're right above his cheeks. So I think what I'll do is I'll just extend the outside of his head just a little bit to make room for his eyes. And then his nose goes right between those. And comes out like so. It's actually a little bit shorter. All right, and then we're gonna actually kind of finish his mouth here. So his mouth comes up more, and then he has a little smile line here. And then this whole part right here kind of swings up to right before his little smile. And then also has another smile line. And then we're gonna go ahead and just extend his head a little bit more. And we'll shape him out as we go. This is kind of like rough lines. And then we're gonna go ahead and add his branches, which are our twigs for his arms and his hair. So we'll go ahead and do his arms first. So we'll do one arm going out this way. And then he has about 4 fingers or 4 branches, or twigs, I guess you should say, on his branches here that look like fingers. Then he has another one that's kind of coming out about right here out of his arm. And they're pretty thin. You want to keep them thin. Then he has another little thumb, finger, another finger, and another one. I'm going to go ahead and erase that line in between his branch so you don't see that snowman part behind him. All right, next we're going to do his hair. So for his hair, it kind of just comes straight out of his head, those little sticks. So he has like one stick that's pretty thin that looks like this. Then he has another one. I'm gonna go ahead and erase this line. It comes out like so. This one kind of has like a bend to it. And then back. And then his last little hair is a short one. Like so. And then we'll go ahead and add a little bit more detail to his arms. these are tree branches, so he kind of has like a little bit of a sticky part coming out of that side. And he has like a little sticky part coming out of this side. Like so. And then we're kind of almost done, and then we're gonna go ahead and add more detail. Does anyone need a little bit more time? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to move on to the next part. I love Olaf too. He's super cute. Remember, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, showing me that you're ready. I see about 2 people that are ready to move on. Next is the fun part where we kind of add a little bit more detail to him. All right, awesome. Okay, so now this is kind of where we like make him look more Olaf-y. So for his bottom of his chin, we're gonna go ahead and erase this line. And we're going to bring his chin down so he's kind of overlapped on top of himself. And then we're gonna erase this line and connect his middle part. And then for his eyes, I think my eyes just need to be a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw my eyes a little bit bigger. And then he has these little like branch-like eyebrows. Like so. And then for his eyes, he has the little black dot right in the middle of his eyes. So if you want to kind of color that in with your pencil, you can. And then for his carrot, I'm actually going to move the angle of his carrot up just a little bit. Like so. And then he has some lines, just like a real carrot would, on his carrot nose. So you can draw those. And then, of course, we can't forget Olaf's signature single tooth right in the middle here. And kind of solidify his mouth a little bit more. And then he kind of has some motion lines around his mouth. Showing that he's talking. And then we're going to go ahead and draw some little round lines around the middle part of his belly. Oh, it's a little too low. To erase that middle line that we had originally. and kind of just round out that middle section of him. And then draw some round lines on him. And then on his coal, in the middle of his stomach here, I'm gonna kind of make the edges a little bit wavier, so it looks more like coal. Like so. And then I'm just gonna draw a little light shadow line underneath his feet. So I remember to make those a little bit darker later when I color in. And then that is about it that we're doing with Olaf. Now the fun part, we gotta color in. So what I'm gonna do first is, since he's white, I'm gonna go ahead and do my background first, and then we'll go ahead and do the branches on Olaf, outline him, and then kind of give him a little bit of shading since he's white. So let's go ahead and do our background first. So you will need a blue. You can use like blue crayon, blue marker, blue colored pencil. I'm gonna go ahead and use blue watercolors today. And I'm just going to, excuse my arm, color this blue square behind him completely in. And you can do this with your marker or crayon. Just color your blue square in. You want to cover that pencil mark. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure you're being really careful when you go around the edges of Olaf. Make sure you don't accidentally turn him blue. If you do turn him blue, no biggie though, easy fix. Hi Carrie, welcome. And I'm gonna go over Olaf's tree branches up top because they're gonna be brown eventually, so it doesn't matter if I get those blue. If you're using markers though, go ahead and stay away from them. You don't wanna mix your blue and your brown marker or crayon together. But if you're using watercolors like me and you go over that, it won't matter. All right, and then once I do all of my light blue, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a darker blue and just kind of color in those puddles that I drew earlier. not really puddles, but his shadow. I'm being very careful. I know it's hard when your main character is very white. All right, so then after we do our blue background, we're gonna go ahead and go in with our brown and color all of his little twigs here. So I'm actually gonna go in with my watercolor pen on this one just to make it a little bit easier on myself. Excuse me. And I'm gonna go ahead and color in his branches. So this is just a watercolor pen. So it acts the same as watercolors, except it's in a nice little brush tip. So it's kind of like a cross between a marker and a watercolor. So those are his arms. I'm gonna go ahead and get the top little hair twigs. And then the only other thing that's brown are his eyebrows. So I'm gonna go ahead and color those in as well. Like so. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just stop for a moment, just in case anybody needs a little bit more time to catch up. If you are ready to move on, we're gonna be moving on to his little carrot nose, and then we're finally gonna trace in black. So if you're ready to move on from what we just worked on, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or a heart or comment ready. All right, looks like a lot of you are ready. Okay, so I have two oranges here. I'm gonna try my light orange first and see if I like that. And then if I don't, I might go in with my dark orange. Oh, I do like my light orange, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that on his nose. So I'm just tracing his whole nose. Making sure I get all of it colored in. Don't leave any white. Hi John, welcome. All right, next I'm gonna go in with my black, favorite part. So actually, you know what? I take that back. Before I go in with my black, Olaf's inside of his mouth is light blue. It's kind of the same color as the background that we did. So I'm gonna go ahead and just real quick color in the inside of his mouth with a light blue. And then I will trace with black everything else. So I'm just taking a very watered down light blue and coloring in his mouth. Okay, now we're ready to trace everything with black. So I'm gonna start from his toes up, since most of the stuff that's still wet is around his face, to give that some time to dry. So all you're gonna do is you're just gonna trace all the lines of Olaf. I think the tracing is really important on him because since he is white, this kind of helps you see him a little bit more clearly, and he'll stand out better from his background. So just take your time. He is looking great, super cute. And what's great too is that black will kind of clean up any messy pencil lines you might have. I'm going to go back through, trace his coal buttons, and then color them completely in. Like so. Then I'm going to go ahead and color in his eyes. And I'm going to try to leave just like the tiniest little white speck in his eyes for a highlight. So I'm just going to color them completely in except for a little white dot. I'm going to trace those motion lines we made earlier on the side of his face, under his chin. And then, you do not have to do this, but I like to do it, is I'm going to go ahead and trace around the other parts of him as well. So I'm going to trace around his little carrot nose. I'm going to go ahead and add back in those carrot lines that we drew. I'm going to go ahead and trace around his eyebrows. I'm going to trace his twigs. trace around his branches. And then make sure I follow that line where it meets his body. Oh, thank you, KK. I can't wait to see yours. All right, and then for the last bit, after you've traced everything, you like how it looks, I'm gonna make mine dry a little bit before I do it. All right, then I'm gonna take my paintbrush with just the smallest amount of black on it. And I'm gonna add a lot of water to it. And I'm just going to add a little bit of a shadow around the edges of my Olaf, around the edges of his button, around the bottom of his feet. And then what this is just gonna do is it's just gonna add a little bit of definition or shadow to him. I'm gonna put some around his chin. Around his arms. And I think that's it. Maybe a little bit around this button. Like so. All right, and then I'm just gonna check the rest of my picture. I noticed that I wanna add a little bit of more blue to the top part of here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then I kinda wanna get the blue right behind his hair right here. And make sure I cover up any white lines. And then, just for fun, you do not have to do this. And if you don't have paint, you can do this with markers by just drawing little blue dots everywhere. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my blue and I'm gonna add a ton of water to it to make it really runny. And I'm just gonna make some snowflake splatters around my picture. A little bit on Olaf here. And like I said, if you have a marker, you can just draw the little dots if you want to add this. And that is it. There's my Olaf. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign my name. As always, whenever you do art, you should always sign your name and date it. And that is it, guys. I hope you had fun drawing Olaf today. I can't wait to see your pictures When you're done, tag me in your pictures on Facebook or just post your pictures down below in the comments. I love doing art with you today, and I hope you have an amazing day. And thank you to all my new friends that joined today. So nice to have new voices in our art classes. So I hope you guys had fun. Have a great day, guys. Bye.